Retromaniacs, I made a mistake. And it's one that I'm not proud of, that I'm always preaching to you guys not to make this mistake, and I did it. Dummy! I feel about as dumb as this guy here.
Dude, I have never seen a worse case of Jimmy Jaw than on that young man. Wow. I have a feeling his coke was more speed than coke, lol. He might not have any teeth left by the end of the night.
Don't worry guys, we're gonna get to unboxing something good, but I gotta tell you about this mistake I made. Ooh, that looks gorgeous. I can't wait to see that beside Christine. So what collecting and hunting mistake could Retro have made? He's a pretty good hunter. He's always finding deals. It's like the guy's like magic. What mistake could he have made when it comes to hunting? Being complacent, not pulling the trigger. So what happened was, I mentioned in the last video, we went through a little bit of a lull for a couple weeks where there was just nothing to buy on Marketplace. Nothing. So the unboxing videos kind of slowed down. This week it picked up to the point that it was so ridiculous, okay, that I found 4 cars for my one friend, okay? 3 of them were chrome chases for under $100. 3 of them. They weren't local here. They were near where he lived, so it was perfect, okay? One of them was this beautiful black chrome chase for $70 in the box. Same year as Starsky and Hutch. Of course, Starsky and Hutch chrome chase has the different tires and the siren, and it's got the stripe on the side. So I sent my friend those links. Everything went fine. He got the cars. In fact, I already unboxed 2 of them. The Shelby Chrome, that was under $100. Today's, well, not today's because, well, it's live today, but I'm shooting this the same day as that went live, if you know what I mean. But that was part of that deal. So everything went perfect with his deal, okay? Then what are the chances a couple days later, I see this? Another one of these. Only this one's in Stony Creek. $85. So $15 more than this one. Box looks great. Condition looks great. Older collector. So I was very, very tempted, but I just bought a couple cars. So I said, you know what? I'll wait a couple days and I'll see what happens. Shouldn't have done that. But me being me, in my brain, I think I thought it was meant to be mine. I mean, what are the chances that you find a chrome chase like that for under $100 and then you find the same one? Like what for that, right? And the funny thing is, there's a third one that's just like that. I'll show you guys the ad, and I think the guy wants $240 or something for the same car, same box and everything. And he mentions that he doesn't want any low ballers because he knows what he has. So anyhow, I left it there. I said, that's my car. I'm showing everybody, this is my car. I'm going to get it on the weekend. This is my car. It's in Stony. It's mine. It's mine. Okay. So then today I wake up. And wow, there's a bunch of money in my account that I didn't think was going to go in my account today, like GST and stuff from the government. Like, wow, I got extra money. You know what? I think I'm going to go pick up my chase today. And then I went to look for the ad and it was gone. So I tell you guys to pull the trigger on hot deals, act fast, lock it in as quick as you can. Do it with an e-transfer as long as you've checked the Facebook profile, as long as it's not thousands of dollars. Like when I say send an e-transfer, you have to do your homework first. Don't just send an e-transfer to a Facebook profile that's a week old that has 3 friends. I've sent probably 50 or 60 e-transfers to lock things in. I've never had a bad experience yet, but you got to use your noodle with that. But something I always preach about to you guys, to not be complacent and lock stuff in. I didn't do it and I lost that deal. But I have good news, and it actually worked out better for me. So if you remember, that one that I lost here was local, was $85. Well, I was messaging a couple of my buddies saying, man, I'm such an idiot. I just lost my deal of the week. I just lost it for doing something that I preach to you guys not to do. And then my friend says to me, because keep in mind, I got him 4 cars this week, like 4 different deals. 3 of them were chrome chases under $100. He says, well, you know, I'm not dead set on keeping the Gran Torino. Because you got to remember, he got this in the box that's live today, beautiful chrome chase. And he got this that looks just gorgeous that we're going to get into today, guys. So losing this wasn't that huge of a deal to him. And the best part about it is, guys, $70. He gave it to me what he sold it for, which is honorable. I don't forget that. This is why these guys, I farm them out deals, because we all help each other out. We do stuff for one another, so I don't mind doing it for people. But I will say, I'm even across the board with helping out my friends. I do not just send all the good deals to one person. I try to be fair with them, because I will have people saying, oh, you should have sent that to me. Well, no, dude, because I just sent you this. You know what I mean? You got to be fair. But yeah, so if there's deals and sometimes I don't have money, because you know me, I'm a working man, but I'm a paycheck to paycheck working man. I pay child support, stuff like that. Sometimes I just don't got the money. And I'm not a degenerate where I'm going to go take money off a credit card or something to do it. So I will, if I don't have the money to do it, I'll farm it out to other people. That Belvedere would have been mine if I had the money. But I didn't have the money. But there's always more deals. So I don't sweat that stuff. When I miss a deal, sometimes, like if it's an $80, $100 silver screen machine General Lee, I'm like, ooh, my testicles. You know what I mean? That hurts me. Some of them do. But I know that this should be proof to you guys now that these are not a fluke. Finding these deals are not a fluke. I used to have people say that I was just getting lucky. It was a fluke. They're not a fluke. You just have to put the work in. Thank you again, Willie Davidson. That's technically a black chrome chase, I believe. And it's my first black chrome chase. And you know, when we open the sumbitch, we're going to compare it to that guy and that guy. It's funny because that's an artisan. He has that because the siren lights up, everything. You could see the battery underneath it. I did a video on that one. At first, he had the artisan to go with the ERTL chrome chase. And I said, Glenn, no. You have a heavyweight car, an original ERTL chrome chase, Starsky and Hutch. We got to get you the ERTL to go with that because it's the better car anyway. And you guys know in that situation what you do. You sell off the one that you have and put that towards the one that you want. I've done that tons of times. So that's what we did. And Glenn either paid, it was in the video when we did it, but Glenn either paid very little or nothing for the car. By the time it was all said and done. It's basically he traded one for another. Guys, I got to be perfectly honest with you. Before we get into this unboxing, I'm going to go hose myself off, put on some fresh clothes. I went to bed late last night, and I ended up falling asleep on my back, legs over the bed. Like, I don't know if you've seen the blanket Diane made me with all me passed out in positions with my hands in chip dip and all that stuff. But that's how I passed out last night. I passed out in my clothes. So I'm going to go take a shower. You guys don't want to come with me because I know you guys aren't soxophoners. So I'm not going to bring you in there. What I'm going to do, I came across something yesterday hunting I thought was cool. It's movie car-like, so I'm going to share it with you guys. These Transformers, they're collaboration pieces. And they did the Ectotron, you guys know that, where they made the Ecto 1 as a Transformer. Well, they did it in 2019, then they reissued the exact same one now, which I thought was kind of dumb, because it's the same thing. Well, check out what I found. They actually did something different that caught my eye that I thought was cool. Now, I didn't grab one from Toys R Us. If I was going to grab one, I would grab one from Amazon. They are on Amazon right now because you'll save a couple bucks. I'm going to put a link in the description if I remember. But check out how cool this thing is, guys.
Dude, I can understand why that would have taken you by surprise, be it a nice surprise. I was disappointed when they were starting to reissue reissues. I had no idea they were going to do this with the Turtle Van. And it's the OG Turtle Van, not one of the variations that came out over the years.
Talk about variations, Joe. There's a couple of them in the stores right now that don't even resemble the old school Turtles van. But I like that they're doing this, but they're purposely appealing to collectors our age because the price of these things, guys, usually north of 80 bucks here in Canada. The one that I'm not going to leave in the store though, Knight Rider. They're doing Knight Rider this year. So if you're a diehard Knight Rider fan, hey, come to think of it, wouldn't the A-Team van be cool as well? I guess it all comes down to the licensing though, whatever licensing they can secure. Okay guys, so let's get into this. This is one that I was just as excited about opening as the Shelby Mustang because it just looks gorgeous, and I'll show you how. So it looks like it's a different one in the way that, like, my General Lee Chrome Chase is brushed steel, okay? So if you look at the body on this, it's brushed like it's the same type of thing. But then the roof, they did the shiny. So this is going to be very interesting to check out. Box is nearly mint. Plastic is pretty good on it. He's just going to have to do some gluing in the corners, but he can make that look mint again. So I will read you guys the back of it. Now I'm going to take out Christine to put beside this in a while for obvious reasons. Now I know people are going to say, that's not a 58 Plymouth Fury. Come on. A member of the 58 Star of the Forward Look family, the Belvedere boasted the largest production numbers of the 58 Plymouth line. The Belvedere featured silver dart styling, as well as other features and modest cosmetic revisions for 1958. Engine availability included 318 V8 and Golden Commando 350 V8 with fuel injection. The Belvedere was available in Sport Coupe, Sport Sedan, 4-door sedan, 2-door club sedan, or convertible packages. It looks gorgeous. Let's get into it. So if you guys watched my video, I'm going to touch on something while I'm opening this. If you guys watched my video a couple days ago, it was about the good, bad, and ugly about Hot Wheels hunting. The people I were talking about, one of them was Grimace, and there was another person I was referring to. These two people are a cut above, like, the guy that you know that's always out hunting and stuff. These guys are above that guy. Like, they're the guy that stands out in the hardcore crowd. Nobody that I associate with is acting like that. Well, the one guy actually is, but I'm going to be talking to him, having a long talk to him about it this week. But yeah, just to let you guys know, it's none of you guys that I'm talking about, because if you're my friend or whatever, if you know that I'm not angry with you or something like that, like, I don't hide stuff. If I'm not happy with you, you're going to know about it. So, and the person that messaged me today about it, you're a good guy and I respect you, and that's why I grabbed you something the other day in the store. If I thought you were one of those guys, I wouldn't talk to you all the time, and I wouldn't like you, and I wouldn't have had you over here at my house, and I wouldn't respect you. So yeah, don't worry. I was not, you were the furthest guy out of my mind when it came to that. I'm not going to name the person, but okay. And this antenna looks bent. Oh, it came off. It was really bent and then it came off, but that's all right. We can fix that. But it was bent like that, probably from in the box, but that'll be an easy fix. But it came bent. I've got pictures of it. I didn't do it, so I was actually gonna try to bend it back, but there is no bending it back. But that's a super easy fix that I can fix and you won't even notice it's been fixed. But I'll leave it for my friend to fix, and if he can't fix it, then actually, you know what? It's actually goes in the hole. Or maybe not. No. But that's an easy fix, but it was bent right down. Okay. Thankfully, everything else is good, mirrors and everything else. And that little antenna, I'd still grab this in a heartbeat. So, no, he got very lucky with this in the way of tarnish and stuff like that. He's not going to have to, oh, I'll give the door a little wipe in a while, but that looks like it's wipeable. Sometimes it's wipeable, sometimes it gets tarnished over the years. But there's ways of bringing them back. But see the roof, how they did it gloss and the rest is brushed? I didn't know they did that. I thought they'd either be one or the other. So that is kind of cool, and boy does it stand out. Now let's get it off this base. Now again, this is not a Plymouth Fury, but you understand it's identical. It's like a Ford Tempo and a Mercury Topaz. Interesting story about a car just like this. If you Google Miss Belvedere, I believe it was Tulsa, Oklahoma. In 1958, I believe it was, they buried a time capsule. And in the time capsule was a brand new one of these. Brand spanking new. It had like 8 miles on the odometer or something. They buried it with a bunch of stuff from the era. And they even buried a gas can in the trunk because they thought that when they unearthed it 50 years later in 2008, I believe the year was. I might be off on the years, but it was 50-year time capsule. Because they thought that we might not be running on fossil fuels. They thought that we might be flying in cars or whatever. Like, I remember being a kid, they were saying that we would be flying in cars by 2010. So yeah, back then they probably thought there'd be no gas, but they put the contents of a woman's purse, like just to show stuff from the era. And then they buried this car, they sealed it in what they called a bomb-proof bunker. And it was supposed to be bomb-proof, leak-proof, everything else. And the idea of it, it was a very cool idea. So the people at the ceremony put their names into a draw. And if they were alive in 50 years, they were going to guess the population of the town in 50 years. And if their name got pulled in 50 years, the closest person won the car. Unfortunately, the man that won the car was deceased, but the car went to his relatives. There was only one problem. I guess sometime in the 90s, they did construction. And a water main got broke under the ground. And it flooded the bunker. It turns out the bunker wasn't waterproof like they thought. And the car sat underwater for since the 90s, 20 years or whatever. So this big crowd gathered. It's on YouTube. There's a very in-depth documentary. It's all over Google. It's called Miss Belvedere. It happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So a big crowd gathered, and it was basically the town days, like the community days. And they were all going to gather to watch this car be unveiled and open up the trunk and see all the stuff from the time period. So they unearthed the car, and boy, did they get a shock. It was a brand new car that had sat underwater for however many years it was since the 90s. And it was basically, as you can imagine, a wreck. And it's a unique story because it was basically a brand new one of these. Like, so basically, if that did not leak, the person that won it, like, the car would need a bunch of work because it sat for a bunch of years. Like, you can't just leave a car sitting without running it once in a while because things dry out, stuff like that, like your hoses and stuff like that. So you need to drive it, start it once in a while. So the thing would have been problematic for sure, but it would have been cool to win. This thing's beautiful, guys. And it's actually numbered on the transmission. Now, these chrome chases, obviously they're chases. They're a more limited number. And from what I heard, they were hard to find. I would love to know production numbers on them if anybody knows. Beautiful, guys. Beautiful. And the fact that, like, the lines of the car are already beautiful. I told my friend if I were him, you know what I would do? Decal Christine license plates. Because you know what? It says Plymouth on the front, Plymouth on the back. I don't see, oh, it does say, it says Belvedere right on the back. Nobody's noticing that. Okay, like that looks a lot like Christine. Wow. Okay, so we're gonna start at the back. Now with these ERTLs, usually the older ERTLs, the trunk doesn't open. We're okay with that, we've gotten used to it. Oh, you know what's wild, guys? Some of them are sealed shut. Look at that. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it because it'll damage it. But if somebody wanted to, they could get that out. But I wouldn't try it because you might wrinkle it. I'd leave it the way it is because it's not meant to be open. The company did something to keep it shut. But usually you can't even get them open that much. So that's wild. Okay, so no trunk opens. So we will come around to the Canadian side first. Seats move front and back. This is in beautiful condition, guys, other than that antenna. Beautiful condition. No little bugs or quirks with it. No loose wheels. I think what happened with the antenna is over time in the box, maybe during a move or something, the box got put upside down, whatever. Car went on top of the antenna, bent it, because I was looking at it at first thinking, how the hell would that get bent? And you know, I'm going to say it, no chrome paint pen needed for that door. They detailed her up. And again, guys, if anybody knows the production numbers on these, I would love to know. Because I've checked online. I couldn't find anything. Just something interesting to know. Yeah, that's beautiful. I might even like this more than the Shelby that he got. That might be my favorite one out of the 3 chromes that he got. Well detailed. Beautiful. Okay, guys, best for last. Now, I don't remember what it said, if it has the bigger Golden Commando V8 or the smaller one. Let's see. Oh, it looks like it's the smaller one. It doesn't look like it's the Golden Commando. So that would be the only difference with Christine right there, would be that it says Belvedere on the side and the car. Well, looking at it lightly anyway. There's probably a Plymouth Belvedere Fury expert out there just going, nope, that's not right. There's 38 spokes on that hubcap. Fury has 40. I like what they did with that too, eh? Photo etched. So it just has different texture. Gas cap open. Nope. Gas cap does not open. But gorgeous, guys. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And it is actually a little bit wired, like it's a little bit more detailed than the average ERTL, which is cool. I don't think they did it because it's a chrome chase. They probably just did it because it's an iconic car. They sometimes they'll add a little bit more attention to it. No spinning drive shaft, of course. Now to really appreciate, you know what we're gonna have to do? We're gonna have a look at it up on the look-see set, put it on the turntable. First, we gotta crack this, because I'm sweating, because it's, believe it or not, I'm sitting in a room. It's the afternoon, it's blazing in here, because our living room has all these friggin' sunlights. But I do it for you guys. I do it because I enjoy it. It's like my therapy. That looks evil like Christine. Okay guys, let's go have a look at this baby. Need I say more, guys? Look at that thing, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous without being a chrome chase. Like I was telling my friends, I have the unrestored Christine, but I want the restored one. And even the Joyride one, like you guys know me, I'll take an Auto World silver screen over ERTL and all that, usually any day. But even the Joyride one looks great. Like it's just a great looking car. Yeah, definitely gonna get glamour shots of this. That would be a hard one for me to let go. Just, it's beautiful. Everything opens up good, doors open smooth, everything's lined up good, other than the antenna. And it's funny because the chrome chase that he hooked me up with that's here, if you notice, same thing, it was on its antenna at some point. But nicely detailed, guys, the dash and everything. See little buttons beside the wheel. Trunk is not gonna open. Dual exhaust. Like I said, if this is mine, I'm putting the Christine plates over those. I'm getting the decals and I'm gonna at least do that if that's the only thing I'm changing, just as a subtle. Sorry about the shakes, guys. I'm just trying to zoom in to get you guys the best of the best. Look at that. The chrome accents inside. What a gorgeous car. Come around to this motor here. That is beautiful. What a beauty. Willie Davidson, you're lucky. Now this is going to be the 318 V8 because it's definitely not the Golden Commando. Golden Commando, they actually put gold highlights and stuff on it. Underneath the hood here, if you wanted to, you could do a little bit more details if you were bored. Do the battery terminals maybe with your chrome paint pen. But it's already pretty nicely done. I might just do the battery terminals if I was bored though. See if I could make this awesome car a little bit better. But remember, when I'm gonna start customizing stuff like that, I'm gonna do it on cheap cars because I'm not a pro like Giuliano, so I don't wanna mess up expensive stuff. So only do stuff you're confident in doing. Something like doing the battery terminals on that, I couldn't screw that up with my chrome paint pen. So something like that I would do. But other than that, I would keep it to cheap guys to do customs with. Something like this, I paid 25 bucks. It's 118 mint condition. But it's plain, so I might try to do wiring under the hood, maybe flocked interior, pull it all apart and do it right. See, I could make that look a little bit better under there. And back to this beauty. One last look at that 318. Beautiful car. What a steal. Well under $100 for this in the box. Box needs a plastic re-glue, but the box is pretty well mint. Plastic or glue dries out over time. And the antenna did its thing, but that's an easy fix. See, my new one, same thing. At some time it was on the antenna. So my friend Willie really lucked out this week. And usually if you see a cheap chrome chase, it's usually an undesirable car. But clearly those are not undesirables. Sister Christine, you're the only one. Pretty darn close, guys. Wouldn't you say? One's a Fury and one's a Belvedere. One's a Fury, one's a Belvedere, one's an ERTL, and one's an Auto World. But I think they're worthy of being displayed together. Cool thing is, I believe the owner has more than one variant of Christine. I think he got the restored and the unrestored or something like that. But I think he has more than one, so this will go perfect. But just a close look, like see the gas cap, for example, the shape of it. The hubcaps, same. And thank goodness that lines up, because that would look horrible if it didn't. Yep, I'd definitely be getting one of those license plates. Boom. Look how similar they are, guys. Jesus. Now I'll show you the difference. Here's the 318. And here is that 350 Golden Commando. Just gonna see if I can get the hood open. The Golden Commando 350. Looks like it's got dual quadrajet carburetors. But very similar. Wow. That was a score and a half. If that was mine, and if I bought it, and I unboxed it the way I just did, would I buy it again? 10 times over, even with the antenna. You know what the real time is now though, right? Glamour shots. Beautiful, guys. After actually unboxing this, I think I might even like this better than Eleanor. The chrome chase that I opened. It's a tough call. Very close between the two of them for me, but this thing is just so beautiful. And it's so close to Christine despite being a Belvedere. Wow. Like I said, it's like Ford Tempo Mercury Topaz almost, but I would definitely display it with Christine. This thing is gorgeous. And the deal that he got on it, under $100 for that, sign me up. After unboxing it, I would buy it over again if it was mine. Just one last look at that beautiful thing there. Gorgeous. Okay, before I go, guys, just one last thing about the good and bad Hot Wheels video. I mentioned addiction in it, okay? Now, we're all addicted to stuff. I'm an addict to junk food, for example. We're all addicted to stuff. I was going to say not all addictions are bad, but all addictions are bad because junk food can kill me too, right? But when you really have to worry about the addiction is when it's controlling your life. It's making you behave in a way that other people are kind of like noticing. And basically making you do scandalous behavior. And I'll give you an example. If I'm walking in Toys R Us and I see a whole bunch of Hot Wheels there being put out, in my mind, it's like, shit, I better message Giuliano and Dave right away. I'll see if they're going to come here. And despite being in a hurry because there's stuff there and I want to get at it quickly, sometimes it's a frantic sounding message. Like Giuliano will get a message saying, get here now, Centennial. Like it'll sound like it's an emergency. Get to Centennial, whatever now. But he understands I'm being polite. It just means get your butt here. There's stuff over here. Yeah, so that's my mind when I'm seeing that stuff. If you're going in and seeing that stuff, and instead of messaging your friends, you're like, oh, okay, I gotta work fast. I gotta get as much of this stuff as I can for myself, and then I'll call my buddies. That's what I'm talking about. That's making you behave in a scandalous way. It's overtaking you, and yeah. The person that messaged me, I don't see that in you at all, my friend. Okay, guys, and don't forget, we got more videos coming. This is a long weekend. All of these good deals came from Marketplace. Don't forget, guys, these are not a fluke, okay? I'm sure the first couple videos you've seen of, you know, my $100 auto art bullet and my $100 silver screen General Lee, you guys are probably like, oh, that's a fluke. I'm sure I've convinced you guys by now I'm not just fluking out. Like, these are not flukes if you put the work in. Both under $100, $70, $90, and detailed out the wazoo. Guys, if you didn't watch this video from a couple days ago, I know it's not a muscle car, but if you like details, ERTL did that. It's got a spinning drive shaft even. Check that video out. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. I'm actually shooting this on Saturday. This is going to be your Sunday video. I'm going to get out and about right now. I might take a nap. I want to hang out with my buddy Willie Davidson that's in town. I didn't sleep well last night, and for some reason, even shooting this video, I'm getting waves of just feeling a little bit crummy, so I might take a little nap before I try to go out. Yeah, we'll see what we can get into later. I might meet up with G later for a coffee this evening. I'm not sure. It just depends how the timing goes. If I go hunting and see anything good, you guys know I'll take you guys along. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Just an FYI, if you're not on my Facebook, the cold weather's coming soon, and so are Retro Collectibles hoodies. So if you're interested in a hoodie to keep warm this winter, let me know. $25 Canadian, and we will ship to you. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. More videos coming this long weekend, so tune in. And take care, be safe, guys, and happy hunting. Smash the like button.
Subscribe to the Retro Collectibles YouTube channel for awesome diecast unboxings, reviews, and tips on how to build your dream collection on a budget.
This beat is stupid grimy, that's a Cobra Kai kick. There's some open eyes, should open eyes when I spit. I get riled up like dogs around the postmaster. The dough stack up with no manner.